Hey everybody, welcome to Dad Domesticus. Today we're talking about
Mom guilt.
Hey everybody, been a minute
3 months since our last.
whining about, and today we are talking about
Mom guilt.
mom
It's
guilt.
kind of a me-centered episode. Well,
Well,
me-themed.
you theme, but it's something that came about in a conversation. I saw you were having a moment about a feeling, and you were explaining it to me. So I grabbed my note taker, and we took notes on that. And so now we're going to talk about what it was.
The situation that kind of triggered mom guilt in our particular arrangement with him at stay-at-home dad. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we will get to that in a little bit. But first off, babe, um, let's talk about what we're drinking, and then we'll do catch up.
that sounds good because we need a drink before.
We did need a drink before. Actually, it's my first sip. Hold on.
Me too.
Everybody, get yourself a bottle of this.
Delicious. So we're not doing wine tonight because
Yep.
we're not.
We're not. We are doing Roku Gin, Select Edition 6. I don't know how many editions there are, but this is made by Suntory, who is a distiller out in Japan. We bought this bottle actually in Japan.
In Japan. Yep. We were there 3 years?
Over almost 4 years ago.
4 years ago now. Yeah. Between our
Yeah.
children, between the births of our children, I'll say.
So 4 years ago, yeah.
Yeah. And we're still,
We still got a good bit of this one.
we've been nursing this one. So
Well, and this one isn't a, we don't make cocktails out of this pretty much. It's just a sipper. And so for like a night tonight, it's kind of rainy. We got thunderstorms outside. It's kind of just fitting the mood.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's starting to turn towards fall here. I have my fall decor up. So, Anyway, I don't think people care about this. Let's.
We'll keep on going. All right. But that's what we're drinking tonight if you needed to know. So it's been a minute. We have had life kind of on the Haida family between the most recent thing we'll say was a broken air conditioner at the end of the Texas summer, which took over 3 weeks to fix. So yeah, we had two air conditioners, small air conditioners going in here. And I literally couldn't record a thing.
So loud.
Everything was loud. Everything was still really warm. And now we were like, air conditioners fixed. Let's do some recording.
Yeah.
Did
let's do
anything
it.
else happen that we were like,
Well, before that was your vasectomy. Which will
oh,
be,
that's right.
So, which was
I got a video of that coming out soon
a longer recovery than.
than expected.
So, spoiler.
Spoiler.
You're supposed to say that before you give the. Oops. Anyway.
Okay. Well, we'll have a video of that a little later on.
Yeah.
So tonight, we are talking about mom guilt. I think that's the best of, I kind of see the saying, best of the worst words.
Yeah. And I mean, I think I won't say all moms, but certainly I've experienced it over the years. Not, I would say, as much as some of my peers have reported to me about feeling like, especially kind of in that role of working mom, which I've always been. But there are definitely times where I assign myself tasks that really could be either one of us. And then when I'm not the task doer, I feel weird about it. So.
And that was literally the conversation that I recorded was a moment when you were, and we listened back to it, and we can't even remember what the thing was you were leaving to.
No, but I do know we had to leave the house at like either 4:30 or 4:45. It was parent-teacher night.
Parent-teacher night.
It was parent-teacher night or curriculum night at the school.
Okay.
Anyway, we had to leave at like 4:30 or 4:45. And so Alan went and got dinner and came back and fed the kids, literally brought me my dinner at my desk so I could eat so that we could leave on time and I could work up until the minute that I could no longer work.
Oh, that's right. And then I was, and not that I don't normally take care of the kids, but I was taking care of the kids longer than what I normally do. And then cleaning up, getting everything ready so that you could just walk into the car and go.
Exactly. So we were talking about kind of just how to make this all work, and we were naming all the things that had to get done, make sure Maddie's diapers changed, make sure that you have this put together, you have the dinner, you bring me dinner, you do this, you do that, you do that. And I felt this overwhelming sense of guilt because all of a sudden Alan got assigned
everything.
Do all the things,
Yeah.
which are, by the way, usually the things that I tend to autopilot and do on my own when we're in family time, at least.
Yeah, it was like all the things that you normally would do. Not that we don't divide up things like you do this and I do this.
Right.
But there's general things that I know that you're generally going to take the lead on.
Yeah.
And
that
it just all became mine.
it all became his, and I just felt really guilty. I'm like, I just assigned him all the tasks. And it was literally me listing off what's normally going through my head a mile a minute. In those 10 minutes before we leave the house, I was listing off what those things would be for him to do. And I felt awful because I was like, I just assigned him all the kid tasks.
And I looked at her like, cool, let's go.
Because that's
what needed to be done. And that's me as the stay-at-home parent and the one not like behind a computer, making the money. I'm like, yeah, well, this is what I need to do to make sure that the rest of our night goes the way that it should. Because if we don't do everything in this order, the kids aren't going to get fed on time, which means we're going to be running later, which means it's going to be running later to get Maddie ready for bed. I think your mom was coming over, and so we had to do some extra cleaning for that. And it was just all those things that need to get done. And I was like, all right, cool, I'll get them done. And you looked at I'm not doing anything. And I looked at you like, babe, you're making the money.
And it was just very weird because it was like, normally I actually do not feel guilty at all during the work day. It's funny because I work permanently from home. And so it's gotten to the point where like coworkers who tend to meet with me at certain hours know that I might at some point get a little snack dropped off for me on my desk as I'm in the middle of a meeting, things like that. And I honestly feel zero guilt about that because I know that's something that he's doing to help take care of me and support me. And I don't need to feel guilty about that. That's kind of what he signed on for. But I think where I start to feel that is when my work life and our family life we don't have that clean divide in timelines between it. And it's those sorts of things that dual income families they're just like, oh, we'll just, grab food on our way to that and never even go home. That's not our situation. We have to leave the home to get to that. And so it was very weird for me to see it's going to a family thing, but me not contributing to the preparation for the family thing.
I was just thinking about this way. Generally, your work and our family life do not conflict. In fact, they work really well together.
Right.
So when your work does conflict with family life, it feels, I feel like there's a stronger reaction from you.
Yeah, that's really true. I'm really lucky to have a job that most days I leave at 5 and there's no more work to be done, or, I don't have to be somebody who's negotiating into family time often. Mm-hmm. So it is very hard on me to do that. So I don't know that I have a rosy conclusion about all that, but just kind of this realization that that's where it struck for us.
It struck for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when we were talking about this a little bit, prepping it for this episode, there was a moment, I feel kind of bad about this, but, she was talking, Kelly was saying, about your guilt. I'm like, well, I didn't feel guilty about that. I was just getting stuff done. And then we realized kind of what you meant. And I recently put out an episode about how I feel in the same way like Kelly feels like she wasn't contributing to the family because she was having to work. There are times that I feel I'm not contributing to the family because I don't work. And I just put out a big video about that. I'll put something up here to show that video.
It's worth a listen for sure.
It's my one sad SAHD, stay-at-home dad year, and kind of how I felt through this whole time. So it's not so much a, here's my average day, but it's much more of a, here's what I've learned and felt over this past year. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think that's where we kind of find maybe the rub is, for the most part, we don't in our heads say we subscribe to traditional gender roles. And I don't even think that obviously it doesn't play out in our marriage because we've chosen this particular division of labor, I'll say. But there are times where I think our base assumptions of what we should be doing versus what our reality is do kind of conflict a little bit and make us.
And it's at such odd moments. It's not, it's never in the times where I would think I would expect it to hit me. I never feel odd, or I feel like I'm not contributing when I'm taking out the trash or taking care of the kids. It's in those moments where To me, it's much more in the moments where I'm alone and reflecting on the day.
Okay.
And it's never, almost never when I'm actually doing the stuff for the family. It's almost
Interesting.
always when I'm like by myself. I'll take a couple minutes to myself at night, or I'm working on these videos and things like that, and going like, man, all I've done today was like take care of the kids and house clean.
That's funny because I think it's the opposite for me. It's when something subverts like the script, I'll say. So the script is this, and for a year we've been doing the script a little bit different. Like, I mean, as we said before, I think we've always attempted to be egalitarian, and as we moved into owning a home and having kids and things like that, I think our gender roles might have come a little bit more like aligned with the like typical, I'll say.
Well, I mean, like there's typical meaning, yes, you and I as partners are partners, but like I'm definitely like when you think of someone that's mowing the yard, I'm mowing the yard.
He's mowing the yard. I'm usually inside trying to get something clean while the kids are. And we've talked about this before, but I think it's so when it hits me and when I get struck by like, oh, something's not right, is when, like I said, the script just gets disrupted and we're like, oh, that's not going down the way that I think in my head it should go down, even though our lives say the exact opposite of how it's supposed to go down. We still kind of fall into it. So it's interesting. It's interesting.
That's a good way to put it. It's been interesting to see you react to this situation that we have, and to hear you listen to me. And then this is the first time that I've heard and seen you vocalize something other than either going with it or support.
Yeah. Well, this is kind of on a similar thing. So our youngest, we got her into a 2-day-a-week kind of preschool, like 5 hours, just like that, just so we can start to get her into school. And she had to stay home one day because she had a little cold, and we wanted to make sure that it wasn't going to, be something bigger than it was, which it wasn't, luckily. And so, of course, Alan just takes care of her, whatnot. And I was like, oh, you get a day on the couch to snuggle her. And like, to me, it was like with our oldest, anytime, because she got sick a lot more because she was in daycare from 12 weeks on.
Yeah.
So she got sick a lot that first year, and I loved staying home with her and just snuggling with her all day. And that was actually something that I really enjoyed. I really didn't mind taking those sick days. And so the fact that like you were the one who got the sick day and you didn't even seem to enjoy it very much, like kind of bugged me.
I had so much stuff to do.
No, it's when you have the excuse to stop.
Yeah. Well, and to me, yes, I did enjoy snuggles with my 2-year-old. Like, she gets super pathetic.
She's
and she
so
just
pathetic.
and she wants to lay on you, not even like on your side, but like on you, like with all the curly hair, like gets in my nose and things like that. And I wasn't annoyed by it, but in the back of my head, and this is just how I work, like I'm always making a list of what I need to do next. And so all I could think about was like, oh my goodness, I need to get dinner started. Oh, I need to get this taken out. The cat poop needs to be done. The this.
Yeah,
And
Monday's kind of your cleaning day, so if that was annoying for you, for sure.
I had 2 days where I had her and just could not get stuff done around the house.
Yeah. And that may just be a major difference between you and I, is you're a very action-oriented person. You're always like wanting to go, whereas I don't mind a leisurely day on the couch. So any excuse where I don't have to be action-oriented, I'm like, oh, this is great.
Well, and a big part of this was because I was off at an office and you were here at home. And so during those first year and a half of Maddie's life, that time when I was working at American Airlines, it was easiest for you to be able to take the time off to hang out with her.
Yeah.
And now that that's reversed, I can see how that's kind of like, oh, I'm getting baby snuggles. Ugh. And you're like, I want the baby snuggles.
I want the baby snuggles. I miss them. And, it is interesting just because I do work from home. I'll come out and get my hugs. I do it probably twice a day. I'm like, all right, I just need some snuggles.
Yeah.
But it is interesting to just, hear the fit, hear the scream, hear the fight, hear the whatever it is. It's always the negative that disrupts the thing, because I think the squeals are happy, but, little mom ears hear the hear the cries, but I'm like, nope, Alan's got it. And like I said, don't actually feel guilty about that one.
Alan is sometimes the cause of those cries. Maddie, put that down now.
Yeah. She's also just a less compliant child than
Total. Oh my goodness.
our oldest wants to please.
Cannot wait. I can look at her sternly and she's like, okay.
Yeah.
Whereas Maddie, I look at her sternly and she's like, Daddy, but I'm doing this.
Or she laughs in your face.
Oh, her little maniacal laugh.
Yeah, she knows it. Oh, such a second. Anyway, so I mean, that's kind of it. I don't think I have a resolution besides just acknowledging the emotion.
Acknowledging the emotion of it.
Which apparently, according to the TikToks and the whatnot, is something I'm supposed to do, according to all the internet psychologists. So,
I think it was good for us to talk about this because it was also, I had kind of put this on a back burner to talk about with you till we got a chance to record, because we haven't talked about this since I made that recording like almost a week and a half ago.
Yeah, no, we haven't had. I think I've got like 4 things to talk to you about.
Okay, I don't think we should do it here.
No, it's all
Actual like
marriage things. Nothing bad, just like
but like the stuff that marriage takes.
correct. We need to talk about like a refinance and things like that. So super fun.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh, all those fun adult decisions.
Marriage life.
Married life.
Or just adult life, really. But anyway.
All right.
But yeah.
Okay. It's a little bit of a shorter episode, but I'm all right with that.
Hey, it's a time to stop and think and just hang out with you. So
Yeah.
we'll take it. But curious out there, moms, where does mom guilt hit you? Is it centered around the kids, centered around the husband, centered around external things?
Yeah. I mean, I would wonder, like, if the moms out there listening to this, do you feel guilt about these things at all? And if you are a stay-at-home mom versus a, working, like in the office mom, if you've done both, is there a different type? Do you feel that kind of guilt in each one, or is there something different? I also want to make sure you know this, babe. We talk about this a lot, but I felt I had no like ill feelings at all towards that moment.
I know. I think I felt more guilty than you felt bad.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm just like, yeah, cool, let's get it done, let's go.
And I think what felt so bad was like the words out of my mouth was just the string of instructions. And for the most part, I really even though I have a lot of opinions about our kids and their lives, I try to really let you do your thing with them. And I don't try to give you much input on how you stay at home dad. So I think it just felt weird for me to be like, almost like bossing you around, do this, and this. Like, I felt like I just left like a work meeting. So.
And to me, it felt kind of like a work meeting, but it was more like, yeah, that's what I need to get done. Cool, let's go.
Okay, so maybe I should stop bossing you around.
Well, don't see it as bossing. It was just telling me, like, here's what we need to get done. I'm like, cool.
Okay.
I would say bossing around is, Alan, you better do it this way.
Oh yeah, that's not very kind.
No, that's more bossing. That to me is more the bossing demanding. You were just
well, I'm not that type of boss, so
no, but like that's what I consider bossing around.
Okay.
What you did for me was give me like all the things that needed to be done.
Yeah, that was my autopilot brain.
Yeah,
what I do when I leave the house.
Yeah, and it was like, all right, cool.
So,
all right,
okay,
and that's about it. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. Dad Domestic is here.
Oh, tell them what you have upcoming in videos.
Oh, what have I got upcoming for videos?
You have a music video.
I do have a music video coming up. Hopefully that will be coming out in the next couple of weeks. It may be with, covering one of my favorite bands of all time, Weezer. I'm excited about that because I wrote the lyrics like I think 6 months ago.
You've been working on this one for a while. Well,
Yeah.
not like you've just been ready to record for a while.
Yeah. And then of course I've got my vasectomy video.
So
yay. Let me tell you, if you have someone that's going to be getting a vasectomy, or you're thinking about it, or someone very close to you is thinking about it, I really encourage you to check out the video. I'll try to make sure that's in the link of like
That'd
the
be
next thing.
informative and also a little biographical. Also.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So, All right. That's
Okay,
about it.
well-
Everybody, cheers.
Cheers.